It's been 5 years since it happened, but the memory hasn't faded. In fact, sometimes, when the rain starts tapping against my windows, I swear I can still see her face. That twisted, joyful face. It was late August, one of those heavy, gray evenings where the clouds hang low and the air smells like a storm is coming. The sky had been dark all day, and by the time the rain started, the whole neighborhood looked like it had been drained of color. I was on my porch, pulling in the laundry before the wind could snatch it away, when I noticed movement near the street. There she was, a woman, standing at the very edge of my driveway. At first glance, I thought she didn't have a head. My stomach dropped, my breath caught, but then I realized she did. It was just bent so far back that her face was aimed directly at the sky. Her mouth hung open in an unnatural "oh," as if she were silently screaming to the clouds. She didn't move. She didn't blink. The rain poured down, soaking her, but she stood as still as stone. Something in me whispered, "Don't engage. Don't make a sound." I tried to keep calm, gathering the last of the laundry as quietly as possible. That's when it happened. Her head snapped forward, her eyes locking on mine. The grin that spread across her face didn't look human. It was wide, far too wide. Her lips pulled so tight it looked painful. But she didn't blink, didn't breathe. She just stared, her smile frozen, like she'd been waiting for me to notice her. My heart pounded. I turned, moving fast toward the front door, but before I could even process it, a thunderous bang shook the wood. I screamed. My hands fumbled with the lock as I realized she had crossed the entire driveway in seconds. It wasn't a knock. It was the sound of her whole body slamming into the door. Silence followed. When I peeked through the side window, she was standing back in the driveway, her head tilted up again, still grinning at the storm. Only now, blood streaked down her face, dripping from her forehead and nose. I called the police. They arrived quickly and took her away without telling me who she was or why she'd been there. They never followed up. I don't know if she was sick, high, or something else entirely. All I know is, every time it rains, I remember her smile, and I wonder what would have happened if I hadn't locked that door in time. My name is Daniel, and this is a true story from when I was 22. I'm 38 now, but I can still feel the cold air of that night and see what was staring back at me. It was early September when my friends and I decided to go camping by an old, remote lake in the mountains. We'd heard it was beautiful, clear water, quiet woods, far from the noise of the city. We wanted to get away, to have a weekend where the world felt simple. The hike there was long, the trail barely marked. By the time we arrived, the sun was dipping behind the trees, and the lake glimmered like black glass. There were no cabins, no signs of other people, just us, the trees, and the water. That first night, the air was crisp, and the moon was hidden behind clouds. We built a fire, roasted marshmallows, and told each other creepy stories. The woods around us were eerily still. No frogs, no crickets, just the occasional splash from the lake, like something big moving beneath the surface. Around midnight, Leah said she saw something by the shoreline, a shadow just beyond the reach of the firelight. We all turned to look, but it was gone. We laughed it off, assuming she was tired, but I noticed she kept glancing over her shoulder after that. Later, I went down to the water alone to wash a mug. The lake was like a mirror, reflecting the treetops. Then I saw it. Across the water, maybe 30 feet away, something stood half submerged. Its skin was a sickly gray, slick like it was covered in oil. Its body was thin, too thin, with long arms that reached almost to its knees. And its head was wrong. The face was stretched smooth, no mouth, no nose, just two deep, black pits where eyes should have been. I froze. It didn't move, didn't make a sound. Then, with a slow, jerking motion, it tilted its head, as if curious. I stumbled back toward the camp, my pulse hammering in my ears. When I got to the fire, I tried to explain, but my voice shook too much. Mark and Leah thought I was joking, until we heard it. A low, wet dragging sound coming from the trees behind us. We all turned toward the darkness. That's when it stepped into the firelight. The same thing I'd seen in the lake, but now it was dripping water, the smell of rot rolling off it in waves. Its long fingers twitched at its sides, and it began moving toward us. Not walking, but gliding, like its feet weren't touching the ground. Panic erupted. Mark grabbed the hatchet. Leah screamed. I kicked dirt onto the fire to make us harder to see, but the thing didn't slow. We bolted toward the trail, crashing through the underbrush. The dragging sound followed, steady and relentless, never closer, never farther, just there. After what felt like hours, we reached a narrow ridge overlooking the lake. That's when I made the mistake of looking back. It was standing in the middle of the trail, watching us. Still. Then, in one impossible motion, it dropped to the ground and began crawling toward us on all fours, its limbs bending the wrong way. We didn't stop running until we reached the car. We drove until dawn without speaking. We never told the police. Who would believe us? We swore to never go back. But sometimes, I dream of that lake, and in the dream, the thing is closer than before. Watching, waiting. If this story sent chills down your spine, don't forget to hit subscribe for more terrifying true encounters. Drop a comment below. What would you have done if you saw that thing by the lake? And share this video with a friend, if you dare. Remember, the next nightmare could be yours.